YouTube, what is going on, man? It's your boy Sean Compoint. As you can see right here on the left side, we have our problem. Enter a number to generate its multiplication table. They entered 5. As you can see right down here, you have from 5 or from 1 to 10, the multiples of 5. And then, do you want to generate another table? Yes or no? So this is wrapped inside of a loop that allows you to constantly ask, hey, do you want to keep generating tables? Anyway, on the right we have our file. Let's get started. First, we're going to do hashtag include IOStream, and that allows us to send and receive inputs from the user back to the computer. I think aside from that, all we're going to be using is namespace std, and make sure to end that with that semicolon, otherwise it won't work. The include is not needed, but this is basically saying we want to use the standard namespace library. What that does is when we want to ask the user something, we would normally do std : and then you would put cout and continue your statement. When you have using namespace std up at the top, you can simply do cout and then type whatever you need there and send it out to the user. So after we have these two up top, we're going to need to open our main function. So is it a function? I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's going to be our main. I want to say it's a function. Whatever. Int main. You got parentheses, and then you use your curly braces to open it up. Let's do return 0 and a semicolon. Save. It's going to reformat that, but you don't have to. Alright, so we're going to have our display information, and then once we have that, let's do declare variables, output and input, processing, which is just going to give us the formula to get this printed out correctly, and then our final output, which we may or may not have depending on this process. And I don't think we'll have it because of the process. Maybe that goodbye. Alright, either way, let's go ahead and start this, and for this I'm going to do a cout. This is going to just show something on the screen to the user. Open up the quotation marks, I'm going to add a bunch of stars. That should be good. You don't need the same exact number of stars as me. This will still work without it, but Control C, V, V. So now I have 3 of those. I'm going to delete the stars in the middle of this one. And then I'm going to space that all the way back over here. And the reason I'm using spaces instead of tabs is I feel like the spaces are more precise, and it doesn't really give you much issues when you see this printed to the terminal. So copy, paste, just to give myself a little cushion there, and then in here I'm going to do a multiplication table as the title. Let's bring that back in. It's pretty centered. I'm okay with that. Save it, and now when we run this, if you look at the bottom, you have that printed right here. And these cout statements or keywords are what allow you to see this. I am going to, at the very start of this, press \T, and then at the end, okay, sorry, \N for a new line. That's what that is for. And then right here I'm going to do the same thing, \N, save it, and now if you look at the bottom, when I run this, it's going to look a lot cleaner. save, run. It adds those separation. It adds the separation between all of this there and whatever just pops up at the bottom. You don't have to do that. I'm just very nitpicky. Alright, so once we get in there, we're going to need a number from the user. So look at me messing up the syntax. Int number equals 0. I don't know if we necessarily need anything else. You know, a lot of this can just be made right there in the processing section. So let's go to out. Let's change that. Output, input, give myself some space, and we'll do cout, and exactly what it says on the left. Enter a number to generate its multiplication table. And then it gives us space to do that. I just put a little bit more space. I like it to look clean. Then after that, we take in that number, so cin, swap the arrows, and then do num. And since we did that, this is basically taking whatever we put in here in this variable that is 0, then gets updated to whatever the user entered there. So once we have that number, we're free to work with our processing section. So here is where the critical thinking comes in. How do we get the program to show what is here on this left side? So first thing, we need to create the loop. Since we know exactly how much times we want this program to loop, we can use a for loop instead of a while loop. So right here it has it going from 1 to 10. So in that case, we can do for, open up your brackets or your, what is these, parentheses, for int I equals 1. And this is basically the same thing as up here you declare the variable. We're declaring it here, and then we're setting, this is a 3-piece syntax, so, or a 3-piece condition. I'm not 100% sure if that's the correct phrase, but 3 pieces or 3 statements are going to go within these parentheses. The first one is your variable and where you start. The second one will be your condition for that variable. So as long as I is less than 11, which means it will be 10 by the end of this, you finish with your semicolon, and this last one does not have a semicolon after, but you have integer I equals 1. As long as I is less than 11, you're going to do I plus plus means I will just add 1 to itself. So once this loop runs, I won't be 1 anymore because I added 1 to I. It'll now be 2. And so on. It allows you to iterate 1 at a time. So you go ahead and get your curly braces after that, and let's see, count. Multiplication table for, I'm going to space this or just extenuate that, and I'm going to include num because my logic is correct. Right now this will print 0. Oh no, it won't at all. Print whatever we ask it 10 times. So let's run the program and see what happens. We have down here, multiplication table has been printed. Enter a number to generate its multiplication table. Let's put 5. This won't work. We don't have logic. It might just, or it should just print 5 10 times. Multiplication table for, alright, as you can see, it printed the cout here too. And if you want to avoid that, I guess it doesn't really matter, but you can do just C out num. Let's do end line so we can get some separation. Now when we run that down here, let's do 5 again. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. 10 iterations, and it prints out the number. So now we need to work with that number. Before we do that, right here, system, whoops. Alright, I'm going to put clear in here because I'm on a Mac. If you're on a Windows computer and you want this, I believe you have to put CLS inside of those, or in between those quotation marks with your semicolon. Now when we run this, it clears your terminal so that you only have what you are working with in your terminal. Let's delete that. So we have multiplication table 4. I want that to print only one time. So instead of having it print 10 times, let's put it outside of the loop underneath where they ask. And now that should work. It's going to ask multiplication table for 55. Did I put 55? No, I put 5. Let's put an end line. There we go. Alright, good. So now we got it to print only one time. Now we have to do, this is a lot more simplistic than it looks, I feel. So we got to get rid of that because we don't need that. But C out, we're going to do num and some more of these. We're basically recreating this structure, but making sure to fill this 5 is going to be num, and then this 1 is going to be I, because it's going to do the iterations. And then this 5 will be I times num, I believe. Let's try. Count num. We're going to give the space after, and then X for multiplication. Let's put I there. And then here should be equals. And then this is where we do the logic of num times I. And multiplication is a specific word where it doesn't matter if the I or the num is first or last, but it should work either way. Let's do a final output of, oh no, we can't do a final output. Because we have to do this again. Let's just make sure this works first. Save that. Let's run it. Let's do 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. That's correct. It's just a little harder to tell because we didn't put an end line. Alright. Save it. Run it. 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. This is correct. That goes from 1 to 10. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I think we need to make a while loop with this 4 inside of it, because I don't think it would work if we put another enter a number inside of here. Huh. Alright, I've never done this before. While number I'm trying to think of a number that you wouldn't put in a multiplication table. Let's do, while number is not equal to 1,000. Open up the brackets. I'm going to copy and paste the loop from that in there. Save it just so it formats. So while number is not equal to 1,000, run that loop. And after this, we can do cout. And then this, do you want to generate another table? Well, let's copy and paste. Let's put that. Alright. Do you want to generate another table? We don't need an end line. So there's your colon, your semicolon, and cin. I believe that's num again. And this should work like so. It's just if you wanted to stop, you would press -1000 or enter. Let's do. Alright, yeah. Let's run it. 2. It prints it. Would you like another? 3. That is amazing. Now -1000. It closes. Perfect. Final output. While it's -1000. Curious if I do this, if it'll print this only when that happens, or if there's a way to get this inside the loop altogether. I'm not 100% sure, but let's try. If number is equal to 1000, cout. You've exited the program. I forgot I did that with my command key. Let's do a last statement. I want more spacing between this stuff. I don't want it exactly when you have the table here, because I don't want it to do it on all of those. I guess I gotta do it here then. Unline again, and that will give you a space there. Let's just do this here. Do you want another table? Let's do \n, and that'll give you space between the last multiplication and then where it's at, or where it's terrible, where it's at. While number's less than 1000. I'm trying to figure how to get the space here. Do you want to generate another table? I guess I already did it. Let's see. Let's do 2. Multiplication table for 2. So just one more space there. Yeah, right there. And you don't have to do this. This is literally me just being a little OCD. There we go. Let's do 3. Multiplication table for 3. Perfect. Would you like another? Wow! I just realized we'd add a yes or no there. Huh. Gosh. So would that be while do you want to generate another table? So that just kind of throws another variable in there, because you would need an answer. So you would do like it's like if yes, or user answer with a char variable, and then while answer is equal to yes, or while answer is not equal to. Okay, I get it. Okay, yeah. I guess I would just have to rephrase that. But this works. Not this. This works though. Ooh. I don't know how to do that unless I do it there. Maybe here. Let's do... No, because it would delete that. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, but if you do, that's wild. Multiplication table for 3. Do you want to enter another 6? 1. 30. That's wild when a computer starts to do stuff like that. Let's try a massive number. So 260. 34. That's insane. 2,634 times 9. And then gives you... That's insane. Alright, anyway. We're done here. This is a relatively simple program. I mean, it's in one section, you know? I don't have to scroll far down for it. But it works. You only need one variable, unless you use a variable for your answer to this, but we used a number, and I didn't see it run the ending for goodbye. Let's do 1 and then negative 1,000. I just want to see it say goodbye. That's awesome. You've exited the program. Goodbye. Alright, that's great. Anyways, if you liked what you saw, give this video a like. If you had any questions, drop them down. I'll try my best to answer. But I'll see you guys on the next one.